to talk military because I am shipping out soon for OCS, and I want to talk to you guys about like my military process because I am a current MBA student, so it's a little different than if somebody were just to go straight from like OCS and then go straight to like the officer training after that. So I wanted to go over that because I've gotten a lot of questions about that. But first things first is I want to talk about if you're interested in like the officer program, right, you have to have a bachelor's. You can still go to boot camp without having the bachelor's, but then once you get your bachelor's is when you would like go full-time military. So for me, I actually took the ASVAB a couple times. I think I took the PICAT. And then you have to verify that score 30 days after you take it. I took the PICAT at home, and then I went to MEPS to verify it. And when I got to MEPS, the lady said 1 in 4 people are randomly selected to redo the whole ASVAB, and you will not know if that is you until you get there. So, well, she said you won't know until you get past your 30 minutes of your questions or whatever to verify. And then right from there, it'll go straight to all the sections of the ASVAB. That's how you know you're randomly selected. As soon as she told me that, I knew I was gonna be one of those people just because I have bad luck. So I already anticipated that that was gonna be me. But yeah, so that was me, and I was one of the lucky few. And I got I believe it was a 66 on my ASVAB. I'm not like smart, right? Like I have to study in order to get like a score that I need. I can't just take a test and then ace it, right? And I'm a horrible test like taker and a horrible guesser. Literally on the test, like this is how my mind works, right? If I see a question, don't know the answer to it, and then in the options I see a word that I've seen before, my brain naturally is like, oh, select that one. Although it may have nothing to do with the topic, that's just literally like how my brain works. So I can't guess. If I don't know the answer, it's gonna be wrong automatically. I'm not gonna guess something and then it's gonna magically be right. That's just not me. I'm a horrible test taker. So for me, if you're anything like me and you actually have to study for like tests and then like read things more than once because you know you just naturally are like me and you just can't retain things right away or certain things right away, make sure you do study before you take these tests. It's not something that I think that you can just like guess your way through. Definitely not the ASTB. The ASVAB maybe, because it's like things that we've learned like years ago in high school, but then also you still want to brush up on a lot of things because we don't use that kind of math anymore, so we may not remember like how to solve a certain problem, and you just need to like refresh your memory. But yeah, that's just a little side note. I was like going back to edit this and I was like, yeah, let's just like make a little note just in case somebody's like, oh, well, that's not that good of a score. Okay, yeah, sorry, I'm not that smart. I just study in order to get the score that I need. That's how you know I really want to do something is when I put all this time and effort into it, but which is all right. It's not the score you need for an officer. I believe for an officer you need a 74. It's either a 72 or a 74, but for the ASVAB. But there's also like other options, right? So you can do the ACT or the SAT, and I chose to do the ACT, although I had 2 recruiters. I had a first one because I've been interested in this for the past 3 years. My first recruiter, I'm not going to say his name, I'll just say Captain A. He sucked, not gonna lie. There was a couple things that like, I don't know, I feel like he wasn't very informative about. There's things that he didn't tell me, like my kids can come with me when I go to 6-month officer training and flight school. Yeah, he didn't tell me that. And there was just like other things that I feel like I didn't know until my new recruiter, and I feel like a recruiter definitely makes a huge difference in the process. So for me, like I told him I was gonna take the ACT or SAT, and he like strongly advised against it. He was like, oh, you can just, you know, redo the ASVAB in like 30 days or whatever. I said, okay. And then I went and I went home and I paid for the ACT. I forgot, it was maybe like less than $100. Took it out of high school, and I got 2 points higher than I needed for the military, so, or for the officer program, so I sent that to him. And then, let's see, I have, oh yeah, right here, I got a 24 composite, and you only needed a 22. So I got a little higher than I needed for that. And then once you take that, right, if you're just going in, like, you have the option to go in as officer of the ground or officer of the air. I wanted to go in as officer of the air. If you're to do that, then you have to take the pilot exam. So the pilot exam, you can only take 3 times in your life, right? And it's called the ASTB. And the first time before I took it, my recruiter said, hey, don't study for it, just take it because you've never taken a test like this before. So I went in and I did that, and my first score, there's only 2 scores that count, right, now, because they changed the regulations or whatever. It's the academic qualifications rating, the AQR, and then the pilot flight aptitude rating, PFAR. So the first time I took it, I got a 3 on the AQR, and then a 4 for the PFAR, and you need a 4 and a 6 in those categories. So that was the first time I took it, no studying, whatever. And he's right, it's definitely a test I've never taken before. So you get through, like, you know, regular questions, and then once you get past that, when you start to do the simulation, it's very different. So you have, like, the joystick and the throttle, and then the first part you do just the joystick, then the second part's just the throttle, then you do both combined while you're following, like, you know, this plane. And then you do the sound one where it'll say left or right, and that's the ear that you're listening to, and they'll say numbers and letters. And if it's odd, you gotta press a certain button on one side on the throttle, and then if it's even, you press a button on the joystick, or vice versa. And then there's an emergency one where, like, if there's an emergency, like a plane's on fire or whatever, I don't really remember what the emergencies were, but there's like 3 of them. And there's like certain things that you have to adjust before, like, the 10 seconds is up in order to get, like, a good score. But yeah, so I studied, and then I took it again. I believe it was like a month later. Yeah, it was a month later. I took it again. This time I had to take it at the North Carolina State University building because the test was down for some reason at my recruiting office. So I just went to the NROTC Navy you know, room or whatever, and took it there, and I got a 4.5. So I was 1 point shy. I needed 1 more point. I needed that 5 to be a 6, right? So that's the second time I've taken it, right? And you can only take it 3 times in your life. So my recruiter scheduled a month in advance after that one, and it was about a week prior to me taking, or supposed to take it for the final time. And I told them, I said, hey, look, I feel like I have not studied enough on the joystick and the throttle. I feel like I didn't get enough time, you know, practicing, and I really, you know, it's my only chance, right? This is my last chance, so I don't want to mess it up. So I told him, hey, just give me about another month and I'll let you know when I'm ready, and then we can schedule this thing. He said, okay, not a problem. So I contacted him when I felt like I was ready, which was maybe like, I guess 2 months after I took the second take of the ASTB, and everything was going good. I scheduled out of work for that night, took PTO, and then I was studying. I've been studying. I'll send you guys, or I'll put like the link down below, but like I've studied all of this in and out. I read every pages, done the practice exam, because I got like practice in the back, highlighted a lot of stuff. I will definitely say you need to know, I wrote like little notes for this, but definitely need to know like this information. I made like little notes so it'll make sense for me. Yeah, but yeah, you definitely need to know like what axis does like the rolling, the pitch, and the yawing. You definitely need to know that. And then like what parts, I guess, what did I put? Oh yeah, like what pitching and rolling and yawing like looks like, or like the movement of it, right? So like pitching is moving up or down and raising the nose of the plane or lowering it, like things like that. You need to know that. But yeah, anyways, so and then believe it or not, even though you're flying, right, you do have stuff about boats that you do need to know, and ships. That is definitely on there, so just make sure you study that. But yeah, this is, I guess I can put the link for this below. I bought this on Amazon. I studied this in and out. And then there was, I believe, 2 or 3 other flashcard sets that my recruiter sent me that I studied from. And I print out, this was like one of the diagrams. And I printed it out. And then on the back, actually, I put like more notes for the like elevator, the rudder, stuff like that. yeah, and then I did like parts of the boat. I just printed this out and then wrote it myself instead of just flipping back and forth through the flashcards. That way it would help me better. And then yeah, some more ship stuff, because you never know what question you're gonna get asked, right? Or what's gonna be on there. Yeah, so I did that, and then I studied from the flashcards that my recruiter sent me. I was coming across my notes and I found this one. And this one has to do with the ASVAB, or not the ASVAB, sorry, the ASTB. So I put, yeah, it says right here, it says February, let me see if you can see this, February 3rd. You can't see that at the top. But it says February 3rd, 2023. Oh wait, you can't see it because I wasn't, February 3rd, 2023. And I put, bring an adult-sized Lunchable and a protein bar for the test along with water bottle. This will be for my break. So when you take the ASTB, you get a 15-minute break, I believe, if I remember correctly. And when I first took it the first 2 times, I did not take the break. That last time, I took the break. And let me tell you, take the break. You're gonna need it, because when I took it that second time, I feel like I was psyching myself out during that last half of the test. So when I took, because of that, I told myself that when I take it that last and final time, I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure I don't psych myself out, because that is my last chance to get the score that I need in order to be a pilot for the Marine Corps. So take your break, 15 minutes. I got up, I ate like the protein Lunchable, whatever, and then I had a protein bar, water, went to the bathroom, and I came back and I was like, all right. Even though I was like shaky like the whole time during like the last half of the exam, just because like, you know, literally this is on me. I'm either gonna make or break, you know, the test, right? Either gonna make or break my career. So yep, just remember to take your break as well. Breathe and you'll do great. A first recruiter experience, I guess, versus like my current, because my first recruiter just, yeah. So the first time I ever had to go to MEPS, right, for the ASVAB, my recruiter did not tell me that I have to wear, like, basically slacks. Like, it can't be jeans, right? I'm supposed to wear, well, I guess I could wear jeans, but jeans and a polo, right? And a shirt has to be tucked in, have to wear a belt, right? Because I'm a Marine Corps. He didn't tell me that. So I show up in jeans and a t-shirt. And I get into the office because you have to go meet with the whatever branch you're joining. You got to go meet with them, and then they set you up or whatever. Give you the paperwork that you need to go to the MEPS, or to go to the testing room. And he told me, he said, oh, you're supposed to be, you know, you're out of uniform. You're not wearing what you're supposed to be wearing. You're supposed to be wearing, you know, jeans and a button down. And then we walk out of the room. My recruiter's there with me. And then we walk out of the room, and my recruiter goes, oh, yeah, that's my fault. I didn't tell you what you're supposed to wear. How come you didn't say anything when I was getting yelled at for not wearing what I was supposed to be wearing? And also, like, back then, I was kind of, like, shy, reserved, so I didn't say anything. But now, I would have spoken up and said something. And then another, like, experience I had with them is I used to have a double tongue piercing. And when you go to MEPS for the physical, it's, like, 8 hours long, right? And I asked my recruiter, I said, this was the night before I had to go to MEPS. I said, hey, I know I can't have the double tongue piercing when I'm in boot camp, but is it going to be a problem when I'm at MEPS? He said, no, you just have to make sure you take it out before boot camp. All right, cool. I get there, and when the doctor looked inside my mouth, she was yelling at me, and then she pulled somebody else in, and they were yelling at me and said, oh, you just think you can do whatever you want? And I'm like, nobody told me that I could not have a double tongue piercing in while I am at MEPS. They just said, I can't have it in when I'm at boot camp. So, because like my thing is, why would I go there and intentionally do something I know I'm not supposed to do just to get yelled at? I don't like getting yelled at, so I'm gonna try to do what I can to not get yelled at. But anyways, stupid, whatever. I was like, all right, you know what? My recruiter really doesn't know anything. He's just, I'm just his quota. He's just trying to meet his quota, his number. So there's that. And then like the recruiter that I have now, like very respectful. He gets back with me with questions like ASAP if I have anything. He's very knowledgeable too. He provided me with a program for like pull-ups for the PFT, right? We have to do the pull-ups, 3 miles, and then the plank now, because that's new. I think they changed that about a year ago. Or yeah, almost 2 years ago. But yeah, so very knowledgeable, and I will say a recruiter definitely makes all the difference when it comes to joining the military. So I want to talk about next I'm going to talk about, I guess, my ship out date. I ship out May 27th. I'm going to report a couple days early. And even though I live in North Carolina, boot camp is in Quantico, Virginia for OCS. Even though it's a 5-hour drive, I got to fly there. But I do, like, I can ride back if I wanted to. But I'm going to talk about a little bit about my officer process, since I'm a current MBA student, right? I have like a little like notes of like things that I wanted to talk about, made sure I mentioned in the video. But so for me, I already have my bachelor's. I got it about a year and a half ago, and then I decided that I wasn't done with school, so I went back to get my MBA. I got 5 classes left before I graduate, with a master's in business management and with a concentration in business analytics, just because I decided to do a little extra. I'm regretting it now because I could have only had 2 classes left and I would have graduated, but whatever, it's besides the point. It's not a big deal. It's an extra 3 classes, whatever. But so for me, I'm gonna go to OCS and it's 10 weeks long. Then I come back to North Carolina and I finish my school. And then once I graduate with my master's, my recruiter will pin me as an officer, as a 2nd lieutenant in the Marine Corps. So when I'm in boot camp and I graduate, I'm considered active standing reserve. But then once I get pinned as an officer, I'm full-time active duty. And then from there, I go to my 6-month officer training, and then I go to my 9-month flight school in Florida. And the 6-month officer training is also in Quantico, Virginia. I've been told it's just like on the other side of the base from OCS. But that's my process, which is a little different than like a normal officer process, right? Because like they usually go to OCS, then, you know, their officer training, and then go straight to whatever their, they call it, I guess, you can call it TBS. So that's just my little process. I do know this is like the regular enlisted shirt. We do have like the Marine officer shirt. It's green. I guess I could show you guys the shirt real quick. It looks like this. It's green. It says Marines on the front, and then it says Marine Officer Program. And then I want to show you guys, I will show you guys the joystick and the throttle that I use, and I can send or post the link as well for you guys if you guys want to buy it. But it's looks like this. It's Thrustmaster, joystick, throttle, and there's also there's also an app, or not an app, but like a program that you need to download for your computer in order to activate the joystick and the throttle. And then I can like link down like the game that I use to help me with it, because I'm not a gamer. I don't play video games at all. So the joystick and the throttle was really hard for me to get used to. That was literally what I struggled on when it came to the test, to be honest. And the 3rd time that I took it, I remember literally telling myself, I was like, okay, breathe, slow down, because you know you're going too fast, and they're gonna, you know, we don't really know like how they grade the joystick and the throttle on the test. So I've been told like don't do no jerking movements, don't move it too fast. So I literally had to like breathe and tell myself to slow down. And then I, you know, I submitted the test, and you get your score right away. And I got exactly what I needed, a 4.6. And I let my recruiter know, and he was like so excited. He made me very happy. He said, I'm proud as hell of you. I hope you take a moment to realize how few people are willing to put in the work to succeed like that. That made me feel really good because, you know, like a mom of 2, I've got a 4-year-old and now a 1-year-old. And then I work 3rd shift full time, you know, 10:15 p.m. to 6:15 a.m. And then I'm a full-time master student. Yeah, that made me feel really good. You know how hard it was to like find the time to practice that? And not only that, my office is also like my youngest daughter's like bedroom. So like it has her crib in it, and then her dresser, and then it has my desk right across from it. And then my other daughter's room has the bunk bed and then all the toys in it. So like during the day they play in that room, but then at night my youngest daughter goes in her room, or when she naps like during the day she goes in that room. So it's hard to find time because like either she was always using that room and sleeping, or I had to be with the girls in the other room. But yeah, so I had to just, you know, find a way to occupy both of the girls, that way I could get some studying in. So yep, that made me feel really good. And now I just have, the only thing I have to really do before I ship out is 1 more PFT, because you have to do 1 more PFT within 45 days of your ship out date. And then you have and I believe I'm supposed to be getting, I got the pre-shipment papers, I've already filled that out, but I believe I get like my actual like ship paper or ship paperwork or whatever by the end of April. And then I have like, I guess a couple things more to fill out. I'm not sure, or I don't really know. We'll figure that out as time goes. But yeah, if you have any questions or like, you know, you just want to ask me anything, I'll answer anything that I know. I don't know too much, but I can answer. I'll try my best to answer your questions. Or if you're interested in the program as well, you know, contact your local like recruiting office. There is a difference between enlisted recruiter and officer recruiter, but I'm like 100% sure if you call the enlisted, they'll give you the information of the like local like officer recruiter for whatever branch you want to join. But yep, I do plan on vlogging my experience during boot camp, sort of, right? So like, you can't, obviously can't have my camera and like have it out every day, but I've been told that after the first 3 weeks in OCS, we like the first 3 weeks is all like physical, right? And then after that we get 1 day of liberty on the weekend, which is when we can like leave the base and do whatever we want for like, I think we get a day, and then we have to come back at a certain time. So during that time period, I will be recording about like, or you know, like talking to you guys about like what I did like for those 3 weeks, or you know, however long, whenever I can record I will, and I'll just like fill you in from the last time I recorded a video and let you know like what I did. Just to talk to you guys about like the process and like, you know, what to expect if you're interested in going to OCS. If there's anything I can't tell you guys, I'll literally just say, sorry, I can't tell you this information, or you know, you'll find out if you decide to go that route. But yeah, I hope to see you guys later or soon, and I'm excited. Oh, also, I know my hair is out of regs right now. This is the last time I was able to dye it before OCS. So it's like black with like a gray. It's like gray with like blue undertones. I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna either just go all black or all brown, whatever, before boot camp, sadly. So I had fun dyeing my hair crazy colors, but that's gonna be over because that's not considered in regs. But yep, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and give it a thumbs up if you would like to see more about like my military experience, and just comment below if you have any questions, and check out my bio or the about in the video / the bio in the video, because that's gonna be where all like the links are for these things if you guys need it. But yeah, I wanted to close the vlog with a quote that I've been thinking about recently. It says, your first workout will be bad, your first podcast will be bad, your first speech will be bad, your first video will be bad, your first anything will be bad, but you can't make your 100th without making your first. So put your ego aside and start. And that's why I'm gonna be making more videos, because I've been wanting to do this forever, and then I just keep making excuses, and yeah, there's no excuse. So this is Asya. Say hi.
Hi. I know it's Easter last time and Trinity, and yeah.
Yeah, it was Easter last weekend, or yeah, I think so. But yeah, bye YouTube.
Happy Easter tomorrow.